Today, we're gonna take a trip back to 1892 with the Rossi 92, but before we do that, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. This is gonna be a very quick review because it is darn cold out right now. Like, Busy's shaking his head. It is 27 degrees with a wind chill factor to 12. We decided, you know what, we're gonna film next week, and then I looked and it said -7 next week. I'm like, you know what, no, this is good. So Texas, we are freezing our took-us off out here. Now, getting to this, you might be thinking, why even review a lever action gun designed originally, the original 92 designed by John Browning over 120, 130 years ago? Well, this is relevant for a couple of reasons. Number one, lever action guns are just cool. Like, you see those cowboy scenes, people walking in, shooting from the hip, blah, 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 blah. I mean, just to be able to do that's cool. But number two, we have a new administration in the White House, and there's a lot of gun control coming up. So if we're not careful, this is something you won't even be able to own, or at the very most, you'll have to rely on lever action guns in the future. So we want to make sure that we defeat all the bad legislation, get all that gun control out of there. Look up HR 127, it's scary stuff. So anyway, getting back to this, the Rossi 92 made in Brazil, it's been around for a while. It is an iteration of the old school Winchester Model 19.2 from 1892. This one itself is chambered in 357 or 38 Special, which I've been shooting today. And this is the triple black model, which they introduced last year in 2020. And this is just a gun that screams blasphemy, because you take that old school 92 style, the 92, and you add a Picatinny rail on top, and then this 1/2 by 28 threaded barrel, and purists are rolling in their graves right now. But I'm gonna tell you, this is a super cool gun to have. So basic spec, 16.5-inch barrel. The whole gun is black. It is Cerakoted, and I'm gonna be honest, it is not like the best Cerakote job ever. Like, the stuff scratches off pretty easy. But it's only like $850 MSRP. Right now, by the way, I wanna know who is panic buying Rossi R92s, because there are none available. And this one I bought last year. It was actually like $900. So I paid over MSRP for this gun, but I wanted something like this, basically for a backyard plinker. Not from my backyard, because I live in the burbs, but for someone who had a cool backyard, you could do that. And anyway, yeah, so 16.5-inch barrel, Cerakote. It's got your standard side gate for loading. It's an 8-round magazine, Picatinny top rail, peep sight, and what's cool is they put, a gold bead on the front. I'm a big fan of gold bead sights. I think I already talked about the threaded barrel 1/2 by 28. Now, what's standard on the Rossis, which is different than the original Winchester, is they put a safety on the top. So if you look here, red means go, and then you can put your safety on, which I don't really understand, because I don't know how many people are rolling around with their Model 92s cocked and locked. But it's kind of cool that feature is there. I have not used it. I don't see why you would. The gun itself has been super reliable. It has a little bit bigger of a finger loop or a hand loop back here than I've seen on other 92s, like the Marlin, and I forgot the other companies that are making them. But they put a little bit bigger hand loop here, which for me, I don't shoot a lot of lever action, but it does make it a little bit slower to be able to cycle the action, so sometimes I get kind of hung up on it. They put a little bit of leather around here to soften it up. I've seen a lot of people that have cut that off and put paracord on it, but overall the action is smooth. The handle itself is pretty wobbly, like it's not in there super tight, but from my understanding is if you get this lever too tight, sometimes you have cycling issues. Don't quote me, I'm not an expert on it. But the wobbliness doesn't bother me, because once again, this is not like a super serious gun. This is something for fun, and it's how I taught my son how to shoot rifles, because it's 38 Special with this can on here. I've got a Silencer Co. Omega 45. It is hearing safe, so for him, it's very nice for him to be able to get on it. And we actually went hunting, and with the red dot, we went deer hunting, and I had my Q fix in 6.5 Creedmoor. He shot that one time and decided he didn't want to shoot it anymore. he shot this a bunch, and with him, he was actually able to be pretty accurate with this red dot out to 50 yards. So when we went hunting, we had a deal. If the deer came within 50 yards, he would take it with the 357 when I put 357 in it. If it was 50 yards and beyond, I would take it with my bolt action. That was 2 days of sitting in a blind, and it was this cold then, and we saw 0 shootable deer. So that was very disappointing, but it's a cool gun to have. Getting back on here, it is a black composite stock. It has kind of a weird splatter pattern on it for texture. I really don't care about the stock. And then it has the wuss pad on the back. So this is a very, very padded stock. And with, you know, maybe if you're shooting a larger round, you know, you'd need to have this padding, but 38 special and 357, this is, you know, kind of unnecessary and superfluous. The sling, I added the sling on with quick disconnectors, but it comes with the sling mount back here and the sling mount up here. And, you know, overall, this is just a fun gun to have. So, oh, and then I put the red dot on it. I didn't really talk about the mount. It's actually a cheap UTG mount because right now I can't get, it is hard to find expensive, well-built mounts that are in stock. So Amazon special for the UTG, but then a Trijicon SRO on top. But overall, it's a fun gun to have. And I recommend that everybody, once you're, you know, building your collections and you've got your handgun set, you've got your basic rifle set, at some point, get into lever action because it's super quiet. The action is very smooth, and it's something that's easy to teach people on, easy to teach kids on, the basics of shooting, the basics of, you know, sighting things in a mechanics. And if you get one like this with the threaded barrel, you can shoot subsonic ammunition all day long and have a lot of fun. But I'm gonna tell you, like, even shooting 38 special, this thing packs a lot of wallop. Like, you hear that round, that big old round hitting the dirt, it goes whoop whoomp. Like, you know, I wouldn't have any fear going out and hog hunting with something like this. You'd definitely be knocking them down. So yeah, I don't know how long that was, but like my nose is running like crazy right now. I'm gonna have to get back in the van because I have one more review to film. So I froze my tuchus off for a Rossi 92. If you want to be a modern cowboy, go out and pick one up if you can find it, or, you know, get the Marlin. And I know, like, Midwest Industries, if you want something super cool, I know Midwest makes like a full 7-sided M-lock handguard for the Marlins. That's something cool to pick up too. But yeah, Rossi 92 triple black, made in Brazil. Get one.